Hey YouTube fragrance community, welcome to another episode of Sampling Samples. Today I'm going to be sampling finally from the house of Francis K and his masterpiece. This one was hyped back in the day on the YouTube fragrance community. This one called Lumière Noire pour Homme, so black light for men. Major notes, this is a rose based fragrance, FYI. Major notes, to my nose, rose, patchouli, and caraway. So we're going to get some greens, we're going to get some, obviously some florals from the rose, and then some spice from the caraway, some challenging spice too. My impressions. Now, I actually give you guys a little backstory on this particular sample. I had this sample for years. I found this little sample, it was just sitting there, never worn, never touched, lost in a sea of Lucky Scent samples. I had a big box full of Lucky Scent samples, and I never really tested out Francis K. I only own one bottle from his line. I always wanted to smell the MFK. I remember smelling it when they first released. I smelt it when I was in New York a little bit, but I always wanted to just sit down and do sampling samples on each one and kind of dissect each one. So here's my chance with Lumière Noire. Now this is my very first official wearing of this fragrance. Yes, I've worn it on my skin before, but I've never really just, put a couple dabs here and there and actually have a full wearing of it. Right off the bat, I'm gonna go on the hype train. Plot me on there because, whoa, that was my impression. When I first put this on, I was like, wow, rose, beautiful, oh, authentic, amazing rose. Now, there's a very dry herbal feel to this fragrance, very green, patchouli. There's some florals in here, obviously. The spices are very well done. I think personally the spices, they're not too in your face, very well blended. The main factor here is the notes are so well blended. This is Francis K. This is a Parfumier based fragrance all the way. You can tell that the art in this particular fragrance is there. Impressive. Now, this it makes comparing this to a very much another hype beast in our YouTube fragrance community, Rose 31 from Le Labo. This particular fragrance makes the blend in Rose 31 look silly, and that's a hard thing to do. The blend in Rose 31 is actually very well done. I really like Rose 31, but this one kind of makes it. This is a little better, I think. Strange, I never smelt this one before. Francis K is a master, but I never felt something like this ever from him. I think this is one of his best creations. This is by far his best scent as far as composition goes and putting everything together, the blend. I think this is his masterpiece. Again, I've smelt a lot of his fragrances around the world, obviously his designers and things like that. He's one of my favorite parfumiers, obviously Le Male. But I really think, coming from me, I really am highly touting this fragrance. I really like what he did. It was outstanding. I have room in my top 3 rose scents as far as my top of rose scents. I still have a little bit of room, so I'm going to place this fragrance firmly in that top 3 now. This is a top 3 rose-based scent for me. Elegance in a bottle is a way to describe it. Love it. And while I was writing this, I'm writing what I'm saying here on camera. I was just smelling the dry down, and I actually wrote it's a fabulous dry down. So this one, winner across the board. Let's take a look at staying power. Staying power, it hits my 6 to 8 hours easily. It could actually pass it a little bit with average projection. So projection's not beast mode, but very well done. The good, I got to keep going. The blend. Composition, everything just works together. The rose isn't really in your face. That's what I like about these kind of fragrances, that you hear it's a rose-based fragrance, but when you smell it, you're like, wow, there's a lot more going on. And that type of fragrance, it's not just a rose-based scent, it's all about the composition, how everything meshes together and then dries down. It really is artwork in a bottle. The bad, if you don't like rose-based scents, the caraway might hit your nose a little differently, obviously, if you don't like patchouli, things like that. You got to be careful with the note breakdown. Some notes will hit you the wrong way. I wouldn't say this is a challenging scent, but it is a scent that may challenge your nose, depending where you are in your journey. My final take is this bottle worthy, another sample or a pass. You probably already know. I don't even know why I don't have a bottle of this yet. This is 100% bottle worthy. No doubt about it. If you don't own a rose-based scent, start here and here. And that goes to my star rating, 1 being trash bin, 5 being slam dunk. This is a slam dunk. If you're looking for a green rose-based scent with a little bit of spice, you like Francis K's work, I really think that this is going to be right up your alley. 5 stars. Boom. I'm done. Now, I know a lot of you have smelt this fragrance. A lot of you actually own this fragrance. This thing was huge back in the day. So comment below, let me know if you actually are on the same page as me or you're not. I like to hear different takes on this particular fragrance. A lot of you have smelt it, so I'm looking for a lot of feedback here. Thanks for watching, guys.